Alright, so this video is going to be about what I look for when choosing a smoker. Recently I've had two of my very close friends think about purchasing smokers, and one of them, he was right in the middle of checkout, about to put his PIN in for his credit card, and he sends us a pic of the worst smoker, probably going to be the worst decision in his bald-headed life that he's ever going to make. And told him not to, talked him out of buying it, and he's like, well, what should I do? What should I buy? So we're putting this video for him. You're welcome, Dom. But anyway, my experience is with offset smokers. One of my best friends, Tony, who you will see in this video, he has a drum smoker, but I'm going to talk about the offsets. So what I'm looking for when purchasing, obviously you have to think about your price range. How much are you willing to spend? How often are you going to use it? What are you going to be using it for? Is it just going to be for your family? Are you doing this for organizations like churches or clubs or anything like that? Are you going to try to make some money off of it? For me, I'm just going to talk about my backyard smoker. Mine is a Old Country barbecue pit. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not getting any money from them. I could get money from them if they want to pay me, you know what I'm saying? Hook it up, make that happen. This is about the size of it. Cooking chamber. If I wanted to, I could probably get about 4 racks of ribs on here, maybe 2 briskets, 3 or 4 pork butts. That's plenty enough size for what I'm doing. What I like about it is the size of the fire chamber. You want to make sure your fire chamber is big enough that you're going to get enough airflow into the cooking chamber. So also the door and the vents is how you're going to control your fire. Some people just use the door, whether they have it cracked or wide open. Obviously, the more open, the more air is going to go in. So the more, the hotter your fire is going to be. When you're talking about airflow, then you're starting to talk about your heating source. What are you going to be using? Are you going to be cooking with charcoal? Are you going to be cooking with wood? I use charcoal to start my fire, and then it's just straight wood for the actual cook. Also, you got to think about where are you getting your wood from. I'm able to, if you see in the background, I have a couple sources that I'm able to get large amounts of wood for very cheap. I'd recommend going on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or something like that, and buying a rick of wood rather than going to the store and buying a bag of wood for about $15 to $25. It's only going to last you for 1 or 2 cooks. I spent maybe $100 for a rick, and that's going to last me for several months. That goes a lot further than going to the store and buying one of those bags that are pretty expensive. Also, you want to think about the quality of the smoker, the craftsmanship, the welding. You don't want to get something, unless it's like your first smoker. I'd recommend going cheap while you're just learning how to master fire and all that. But if it's like you're going to be your main smoker, you don't want to go cheap on it. You go cheap, you're going to get a cheap smoker. It's not going to be as efficient. It'll leak heat, it'll leak smoke, and that's costing you money because you're using more fuel, you're using more wood. So you go cheap in the short run. In the long run, it's going to cost you, and you're going to end up wanting to buy another smoker. It's one thing you want to think about: the thickness of the metal. The thicker the metal, the better, and that goes for your firebox and your cooking chamber. Another thing to look for in an offset smoker is the position of the smokestack. You want your smokestack to be at grate level. The reason being is when it's at grate level, it's pulling the smoke, pulling the heat across what you're cooking, and it's going straight out like that. So by this being a cylinder, you're going to get that circular motion. It's going to be rotating around the meat, and I'm going to close that up. So you got some ribs going there. So you definitely want to be aware of the position of your smokestack. You don't want the smoke to go straight out of the firebox and kind of bypass what you're cooking. Example, I had a vertical smoker that I returned. Beautiful smoker, looked great, but I would cook food for 10-12 hours, and the food would taste like it was just made in an oven. The smoke was going around the perimeter and bypassing the meat, and it just wasn't doing its job. It was basically a big outdoor oven. This isn't like that. I'm standing in smoke. Ugh. So that's definitely something that you want to be aware of, the positioning of your smokestack. Type of smoker, type of fuel, quality, maintenance. smokestack positioning, pretty much everything I can think of until I finish the video. Then I'm pretty sure I'll think of something I didn't cover. But that's just me. I have a offset. Now we have Tony's going to come in and tell you about what to look for when purchasing a drum smoker.
So I'm Tony, and my friend David asked me to do this video on what it is that I look for in a drum smoker. So I think I'm the only one in the group that's got a drum smoker, and so kind of cool. I'm just your regular weekend warrior grill smoker type dude, and so I wasn't looking for anything that was going to be like breaking the bank or overly expensive, but I wanted a good quality, and so that's kind of what I went with. I got a friend of mine that makes these smokers in Shreveport. Shout out to Lynn Beatty, and he put this together for me. It's the things that I'm really looking for in a good drum smoker is the size. You want it to be big enough that you can fit what you want to on there, but you want it to be portable enough that you can take it places. I've taken it to a couple comps or places where like meeting up with friends and they're gonna throw some ribs on there and smoke them up, you know. The other thing that I'm looking for is the difference between this and an offset smoker is this can be a little bit more difficult to control the temperature. And so what it is you've got see down here, get these out of the place. See, this is the other thing I really like. I like the room. I like having, I've got 2 different grates here, and I can fit multiple pieces of meat on there, multiple cuts, whatever I want to be doing. And I know that I got enough space. With the cheap smokers that you're going to find, you're not going to get that. So what I got down here, I got some lump charcoal in there right now, but you put the source down in there. The difference between that and your standard offset smokers, that can be a little bit more difficult to control. So I want multiple places where I can control the oxygen going in to then make it hotter or cooler as needed. So I got this bad boy here that I can just take off on this side, and I have the exact same thing on the opposite side. And also on the lid here, I have this thing right here that I can open and close to control. So that's really it. And being able to accessorize, you know, being able to do stuff that, like, I got enough room that I can throw whatever it is that I want on there and not have to worry about space. So that's pretty much it.
You going? Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching the video. We'll have new videos soon. Stay tuned to the channel, Veterans and Barbecue. No, oh my God, Veterans and Barbecue. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned to the channel, Veterans and Smoke Rings. We'll have new videos out soon. Also, look for us on Facebook, Veterans and Smoke Rings, and Instagram, Veterans and Smoke Rings. Thanks.